Special thank you to Established Titles for sponsoring this video. In Scotland, they have a custom where landowners are referred to as lords and ladies. Established Titles is a fun gift that you can give to literally anyone, with a framed proclamation for them to either hang on their wall or sit on their desk or whatever they want. The title package gives you 1 square foot on private land in Edelston, Scotland. And Established Titles supports reforestation, working with charities like One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future. For each order, a tree gets planted. You can officially include lord or lady on your credit card, your plane ticket, your dating profiles, whatever. The first 200 people to purchase a title pack using my link will effectively be next to my plot of land. We can build our own little kingdom. I promise to be a fair, yet ruthless leader. Established Titles is running a massive Black Friday sale. Use code negative to get an additional 10% off. Go to establishedtitles.com/negative to get your gift and support the channel. As plenty of you pointed out in my first impressions video, I messed up. I reviewed actually I think it's the 3rd episode, incidentally, because I read full episode as first episode on the YouTube channel. And so I decided to right this wrong. And what better way to do that than to give you more content for me to for you to enjoy. And I'll be reviewing some of the dolls in this video. They only have Laguna. It's all Laguna. All of it is Laguna. Wait, hang on. Laguna. And this one, Laguna. All they have is Laguna. Also, they have this, which is cool. But it's all Laguna. And look, even more Laguna. And Frankie. Thank you. But also, they have a twin pack. She's wearing a different outfit. Well, I'm getting this one. In the actual first episode, we see Draculaura still have to hide her being a witch, which, listen, I get they needed to develop the animated series alongside the movie in order to get it out at the same time, but it's just so weird how it's breaking continuity. I don't really mind, seeing as I am more than willing to glaze over the movie. Also, apparently the journaling into an eyeball is their semester assignment.
You can pour your hearts out! Heart poured out. Assignment done.
Listen, I am a massive fan of ancient Egyptian history and mythology. So if they have a lot of good jokes for Cleo, I am willing to switch my favorite character from Frankie to Cleo. You can either appeal to me being or me being a massive nerd. You win either way. A lot of people are upset that Monster High has now lost what makes it feel special. It's just not goth. It's just sort of alternative, which I don't think anyone is really arguing with. It's cutesy now. It looks like a McDonald's commercial when adding a potato or whatever that is. Chicken nugget looking weirdo. But I still like how it looks and the aesthetic. I don't know. Do I want a dark, cool goth show? Yes. Do I want more of a focus on fashion? Also yes. Was I expecting this when we saw the design leaks? Absolutely yes. A lot of my hopes for how this show would turn out largely folded when the designs leaked. And I'm someone who's lived through a few modern reboots of some classic shows. I've had my dreams crushed into dust enough times that I kind of just go with the flow and try to appreciate it for what it is. You're not gonna get a massive outcry from me, unless they mess up rebooting Ever After High. If they reboot Ever After High. I was so obsessed with a lot of stuff I grew up on, to the point to where it was feeling toxic in my brain. I was very much becoming one of those people who could just not grow up and move past their childhood, and they were just obsessed with pop culture, and it was kind of ew. I am a very passionate person, and seeing all of my favorite everything get ruined over and over again, I had to learn to accept that I'm not gonna get what I want. But I really didn't want to be one of those cranky geezers shouting, "Your stuff sucks, mine was better," to all the kids that's just getting into the new series. So when I see people online so upset at this reboot, I think of all the new fans coming into this show and seeing those comments and immediately turning and leaving because they're like, oh, this looks awful, this looks terrible, I don't want to be part of this. I don't want new fans to feel like they're in the wrong for liking this. So I try to look for the positive in these, as well as appeal to all of us who are understandably upset with this reboot. But like, geez, I know I'm Negative Legend, but you guys are Negative Nancy's.
Speak of the devil!
No, the devil's Heath's dad. Has a goatee, invented pimples, and 24-hour news channels.
I wish it was the devil that invented 24-hour news channels. Unless they're trying to inadvertently call the people who created them the devil, then I'm on board with that. It feels like hell watching it, that's for sure.
Wrapped the judgments early, had to banish a vampire.
Listen, do I need the Transylvanian accent with Draculaura? No. But do I need it for Dracula? Yes, of course I do. Why would you do this? Now that I've seen this episode, it does a much better job giving every character a solid time in the spotlight, as well as really showing off how interesting the school looks. It's not the same, but in recent cartoons, the interior and set design has always been really good.
But I'd still get kicked out of school, and my dad would see right through the lie. I like doing witchcraft. It makes me feel like me.
Wait, so is she still going to have to hide it from everyone, or is this just supposed to take place in the middle of the movie, or does this just not fit in with the movie at all? I think it's the third one. Can we all agree to just appreciate the movie for what it is, but ignore it for the sake of canon?
Here you go, kid. Bat out.
Having Dracula be bad with modern technology is great. Another thing that's relatable to, I think, honestly, everyone, since we all know someone who refused to keep up with modern tech. And don't tell me that they're old as an excuse. My papa, my grandfather, had absolutely no problem keeping up with all the stuff because he actually bothered all the way up until he passed. Just click on stuff and see what it does. Or if that doesn't work, you Google what you need and just follow the steps. That's how all of us learn. It's not fun, but it's just what you do. Dracula decides not to tell her dad that she's practicing witchcraft, so her friends give her a safe space to practice away from prying eyes. And it's so sweet. So apparently each of the 3 episodes are going to focus on each character individually.
And that's my Monster Minute.
Draculaura has a secret.
Ah, I see. So you're going to be the top bully for this series. Is Cleo still going to be a bully, or more of just a popular girl? Or something else? I want an episode spotlight on Cleo. Speaking of which, they have a bunch of animated music videos focusing on several characters, and it's very, well, they cut costs by cutting frames, and they mimic the designs of the dolls, so you can tell this is really just a commercial in disguise. I think they were trying to mimic, like, stop motion, and if we take this as a hint of how her character is going to be, she's going to be vain, so okay, I hope there's more to her.
Hola, hola, my name is Laguna, and my story begins in Honduras.
Oh yeah, that reminds me of a theory I heard why Laguna is purple pink now. Remember how there was a thing with Laguna and her boyfriend having racial problems and afraid his parents wouldn't accept her? The theory is that Laguna's skin color was changed in order to make the racial discrimination more obvious, which if that's the case, at least the color change makes sense. And her song is way better than Cleo's. I'm sorry, Cleo, I love you, but come on. Is this what you wanted, Mattel? You just want me to focus on Monster High? You don't want anyone thinking about Ever After High, so you copyright claimed my video? If you just told me, I'd understand. Don't do this to me, baby, I can change. Like I'm having a bad breakup with Mattel. But wait, this still isn't the first episode. I figured I already messed up with my previous video. I'd just work backwards at this point. If you go to Nickelodeon's website, you can find the actual first episode. I don't think it's actually on their YouTube. And these episodes are actually like 22 minutes, but it looks like most of them will be split into 2 episodes, taking up 1 time slot. So technically they are 10 minutes long, but it has the possibility to be just technically a single 22-minute episode. It's just gonna be part 1, part 2 sort of deal. It's just, whatever. It looks like even the show is just using the plot of the movie with some small shifts in the story. We see Claudine get her claw necklace. She's a human, and you see her dad, the whole kit and caboodle. And the necklace guides her to Monster High because it has the voice of her mother calling to her from beyond, and oh, it's like the Spiderwick Chronicles, cool. Claudine straight up doesn't get invited to Monster High. She stumbles there and sneaks in. She's just a nerd for monsters.
I'm 15 days old and my pronouns are they, them. Monsters Dictionary defines high school
It's okay!
Laguna is more than okay with a human. That's the look of someone who's interested in learning about humans or interested in eating humans. The weird thing is she doesn't even know she's a werewolf. I'm starting to wonder if she even is one, or if I was in her shoes, I'd just find someone to turn me into one, or a vampire. That way I could stay. Also, Deuce reads more like a nervous geek, so I don't know. If they're really trying to get Claudine and Deuce to be a couple, then this makes more sense, but still, I'm not crazy about the lack of the Cleo and Deuce dynamic. So wait, if she has the necklace, she can turn into a werewolf? That's different. I don't know, kinda saw it coming, but why is there even a movie if they were just going to ignore the plot of the movie?
Your father will know that you're at boarding school, but the enchantment will ensure he doesn't worry or require detail.
Wait, so does her dad not know that the woman he married is a werewolf?
Monster High, and she found it on her first night with the Moonclaw?
Oh, okay, I guess he does. Okay, so we're not agreeing to ignore the movie, we are expected to ignore the movie. But don't just take my word, let's see what you guys have to say about these first impressions. I found everyone very annoying. Everyone just didn't stop talking. If you find that annoying, why do you watch my videos? I talk fast. I've seen you guys comment and kind of poke fun at how fast I talk sometimes. I'm sorry my brain just goes fast all the time. Do you guys want me to like slow down? Is that what you want? Which is fine with me. That just means my videos are longer and I can input more ads, but I'd prefer not to do that. I hate Claudine's texture. That's just it. Just she has face fur and I hate it. Honestly, yeah, it looks a little weird. Maybe if they had like tufts of fur on her cheeks, then it would work better, but I don't know. It's just a nitpick. It looks fine from a distance. Close-ups are kinda eh. Honestly, I miss the original, but the new one is growing on me. It's charming. And the fact that they look like actual high schoolers slash middle schoolers is neat for the new look. I hope they lean into fashion more though, because that was always a huge draw for me. I agree. If they don't focus on fashion in this series, I will be upset. At least lean into it a little bit, you know? But when it comes to reboots, I've seen reboots that were a lot worse than this one. So I'm willing to support it for now until we see more. I'm hoping there's a good overarching story with this series. I hope it's not just one-off episodes. Or they really lean into all the relationship dynamics between them, or just, you know, dynamics in between them in general. Like maybe like some drama, yeah, something like that. You know, that'd be fun. I'd be fine with that. I don't need some big grandiose story. I can just have some high school drama. OG Draculaura can call me mommy any day. What? Why would? Okay? It's the accent, isn't it? It's gotta be the accent. Our time is just over. This new generation just doesn't get the quality we had back then. Yet, not everything is bad with the new things that get rebooted or come out new, but in my opinion, there is less effort put into it. I wouldn't say less effort, but I would say that seeing this air on Nickelodeon made it feel more safe, or they wanted to appeal to a much more broad audience. And the point of the original Monster High was that it was unique. I talk about how Mermaid High failed in my Mermaids video, and how Mermaid High failed for Spin Master because they decided to make it so generic. That's why it failed. It didn't pop off to anyone. Monster High, I mean, I think it does. It has a unique flavor to it. It's just not quite as powerful as the last series. But yes, you're right. Anyway, let's look at the dolls. I think it's funny how they're going for like this sort of holographic sort of look, but they don't have any holographic material on their packaging whatsoever, which I understand it would raise the cost a little bit for them or whatever, which we would probably have to pay. It worked for Rainbow High, but this is just one of those things where it's like, they almost did it, they almost got it right. It pops off enough, but I saw this next to Mermaids, which also does the same thing, and I wouldn't be surprised if that Target just thought it was from the same franchise, because holographic, same. No, so it's kind of funny. Okay, first things first, this was a lot easier to get out than some of the other dolls that I've reviewed. I mean, surprisingly on the packaging itself, not even when you try to snip all the little tags that keep the dolls in place, just on that clear window, like there was like one, maybe two pieces of tape holding it in, and the rest was just a flap that goes into like folding and packaging that holds it together. So I like that. I'm not sure how that's gonna work if you're working at Target or something, or Walmart or whatever. When it comes to this, now I don't know about the original Frankie. I kinda like the makeup. I'm used to dolls that have inset eyes. All things considered, a lot of people like to point out how the irises have little highlights that are different for each character. In terms of the design on the face, I think they did a stellar job. I like also the blush that Frankie has, it's really cute. But does it hold up? Does it hold up to friction? Can I run my finger across it and have just parts fling off? It's a Playline model. If it looks fine. First test a success. Now let's talk about the fashion for Frankie. This one specifically, I think it's a little weird how all of it is not cloth. It's all that, everything is like this, like the pleather sort of deal, or just plasticky. So, definitely cheaper to produce, easier to make. I get that. I think it's absolutely hilarious how they decided, okay, one long boot for the normal leg, but that prosthetic is just so fashionable, we gotta keep it there. So I think it's funny. I like it, and let's see if I can take off the boots, which I should be able to. There we go. Took a little bit. And it's a prosthetic all the way through, and it looks really good, actually. Not only that, but I think the biggest highlight of this doll is specifically the details in the boots, because it's not stitched in, it's all plastic molded. But at least it looks like it has a zipper on the side, it has a buckle, and it has the Frankie lightning bolt for the heels, and I think it looks good. The belt does come off. You can unclip it in the back. I'm not going to. All the clothes are gonna come off, but, well, all the clothes can come off. They are not going to come off because there isn't any alternative outfits for this. So what's even the point? Which makes my job a lot easier. Now, when it comes to articulation, everything can be articulated. The waist, the head, the shoulders, the elbows, right? Come on, elbows? The elbows can be articulated, right? Am I just breaking it right now? I know the wrists, hang on, let's look at Deuce. See, the elbows can be articulated too. It's just, their clothes are just holding them back. Not only that, but the waist with the leg, the knees, are the ankle, there are ankle joints. Okay, cool. I'm going to assume Frankie has that also. Now, the biggest thing that is the biggest surprise out of this is that the face sculpts, like the heads, all have different sculpts. They all have different shapes. Just looking at Frankie and Deuce side by side, it's more prominent when it comes to like Draculaura and Claudine, but their faces and their heights are different. Now, it's a Playline model, so I don't feel any crunchiness in the hair, which is nice. It feels not quite as silky. I do feel a stickiness, actually. It's not sticking to my hands, but it's sticky when I touch it, which is odd. I don't think it's really that big of a deal. I mean, it's definitely not crunchy, so it's probably gonna be easier to get out of than the crunchiness of the other dolls that I've reviewed. Now let's look at Deuce, who ironically has no plastic clothing except for the boots. It's all cloth and a very, very dramatically big hood. Can this go over the head? Can this really? Hang on, we're getting there. It can. He can actually wear a hood. There's even a little hole in the back to show, like, to help with the snakes that are poking out. That is funny. So yeah, he can wear a hood. Now it looks like it's 2 pieces or 3 pieces, the apron, the hood, and like fishnet looking top. That is not the case. It is all one solid piece. So that's what you get. There isn't any extra articles of clothing. It's just, they just have the illusion that it's more articles of clothing. And I'm gonna be frank, the pants look like some like cheap sort of pants you get from Amazon from some company that no one's heard of, which I guess isn't a big deal because Deuce works at a coffee shop, apparently. And so you're not gonna see his pants. He's working behind a counter, whatever. He can wear whatever he wants. I think his entire outfit is very weak. It looks very boy. Also, his shoes have these wings with like a viper on the for the tongue, which cool. But why the wings? It looks like they're really leaning into the whole Greek myth sort of deal, and these are supposed to be like the wings of Hermes. I guess they're gonna explore whatever they can with him when it comes to Greek mythology because he's the only one that is Greek mythologically. The snakes do not move. Well, they move a little bit, but they're not articulate, they don't have any articulation, it's just plastic molded. His eyes are also, like the highlights and the shape are different. He has a pointy iris, so like a cat or like a snake. The design on the shirt is a little fuzzy, it's not bad, but you can tell it was very machined in, just sprayed on there a little bit. Kind of like a tattoo that like wasn't done well, and there's a lot of blowouts, and it kind of like gets blurry over time. When you look at it real close, he looks like he's got some muscle on his arms. I will say I have seen worse. Worse being some of the Miraculous dolls that my partner got, and we were both like, wow, this is disappointing. Now they don't come with stands. They don't come with anything for displaying them. They are Playline models. Kind of had to expect that. What it does come with, because this is a playset, it comes with their pets. Actually, I think all of them come with pets, but each one comes with each of them. They don't move. They are not articulative. You would think the heads would swivel, and they don't. That's a little upsetting. But when it comes to like Deuce's pet, it comes with a motorcycle with wheels that roll and a openable and closable back for deliveries, and I think it's really adorable, and it has little handles for the hands for this one to hold on to the bike with easier, although it falls off very easily, don't get me wrong, but I'm assuming that when you're playing with it, you're gonna hold it like this so that you can... I think out of everything, this is the cutest thing. Wearing a little leather jacket. It has a little tattoo of a snake. It's really cute. Next we have, I think, they said Watts, if I remember from the show. I have the packaging right here. It doesn't say. Head also doesn't swivel. It is just a solid piece of plastic. You can see the seams of where the back and the front of the head are. I was hoping this to be like a little My Littlest Pet Shop sort of deal. Frankie does come with a bag and a coffin phone. Eye coffin. I think that's what they say. I just watched the shows. Why am I forgetting this? The eye coffin is kind of weird because it just has this little hook on the side where their thumb can go through, and it's like, doesn't seem very sturdy, and it also feels like it's gonna slowly rub the thumb off. So I'm not too crazy about that. The bag is okay. It actually does open. You actually can open it to put stuff in there, but it's just a solid piece of plastic. Very malleable, very easy to mush around so you can play with it easier. Deuce comes with glasses. So I have to put them around. Do they just stretch? There's not much to say. He has glasses. I think probably the cutest thing of this entire playset is the little drinks and the to-go cut and the to-go carrier. First of all, you have this little screen that Deuce will use that Frankie's picking up something. It's just this little stand with a sticker on it. Nothing too crazy, but you know, it's good for a single scenario. You have a little cupcake that's stuck on a little plate. It's not gonna fall off, you know. Honestly, I kind of prefer that. If it were me, I would hate trying to balance this in their hands. And it comes with a little hole for their thumb to go through, so I guess that's what we're dealing with. But if you look at the little cups that they have, you have a special cup for Claudine with the moon and stars for her necklace. You have a special cup for Draculaura with a little fang, if you can focus, with a little fangs on the side. That's adorable. And you have a little cappuccino with the lightning and the lightning sigil for Frankie. And not only that, we have a fourth one for the pet. For what is it? I want to say Watson because that sounds better than just Watts. I don't like the name. Whatever. You have a cup for them too. And it's just so cute. I love it. I think this is great. These don't stick in well. They all fall out very easily, which it kind of upsets me. I wish it was like slightly smaller. I was hoping these would hold them a little easy. The clear plastic tray actually has some ooze. You see my problem? You know, it's the little things. I think it's the little things. It's pretty good. I think it's cute. I think this is $50. The majority of the cost being the $2, seeing as each doll is $25 each. I'm not upset. I'm a little upset with how Deuce looks. I don't like his outfit. I like how Frankie looks. I'll display Frankie. Do these open? Do these open up? They look like they open. They open! Oh, okay. Even better. The little mug's open. You can, the straw doesn't work, but you can put something in there. Oh, I feel so sorry for all the parents who have their earrings stolen and are put in here, or actual liquid of like Coke and other drinks that aren't water that will make these super sticky. But they're Playline, that's the point. They're meant to be ruined. I wish the heads swiveled. That's a big downside. That's a stinker. In terms of articulation, I'm actually a little surprised. There's a lot you can do with them. I don't know, I'm not someone who wants Playline dolls. I am not someone who actively seeks out Playline dolls. I want high quality display kind of dolls. These, I mean, I can display them. They're fun. I love the differences in their designs. I'll probably be a lot happier once I have Cleo and Draculaura. Maybe not Claudine. And I think it's a little funny how it's very obvious what is not the popular doll. Laguna, we'll see what they do with her character. I think the dolls are pretty good. Honestly, I like the dolls decent a bit. It's definitely better than Mermaids. Like, even though Mermaids technically has higher quality, these are just unique, each in and of themselves, and they know what they are. But tell me what you think of the dolls and what you think of the new series now that I have a proper impressions video done and finished and out there. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay beautiful and keep playing.